The jump circle?
I remember this. We can actually jump. Woohoo! I'm gonna get sued. Hello everyone, I'm Echo, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Deluxe. I just finished recording Bendy, and I almost said Bendy and the Ink Machine. Yeah, we're returning back to this. We're gonna set the time again, because that guy said something about it, 4:20. There we go. You gonna say something this time? 4:20 p.m., your favorite time of day. Night, actually. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? It's not correct, but okay. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious, how accurate for 20 p.m. is it? Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 4:20 p.m.? Completely inaccurate. It's like 1 in the morning. You know, I can't... Can I just say, regardless of how accurate of the clock, I have a great time adjusting these settings. Thanks! This is really weird. Feeling like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. What, as funny jokes that make me giggle to myself like a 4-year-old? It's all good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. I mean, there's an entire settings tab. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to get new data on you. Is this an ending? It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. What the hell is going on? Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Oh my god, again? How many different boots am I gonna have to go through? Okay, let's see. Display input. Let's go after that ending. To start it
All
off...
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
To start off, we need to search for a computer.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Can you shush? We need to find a computer with that input thing on it, like we saw before, to start this ending off. So let's go ahead and do that. And remember, this is a clean reset. Once you finish an ending, it's a complete and utter clean reset of the game. So everything is reset back to what it was. One of these computers should have it. I have walked upstairs. How about I go downstairs? You know what? If I can't find the computer, I'll head down to the ominous basement where I'm gonna lose my liver. What the hell?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All
Fair
because
enough.
he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
We probably
And
are.
then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of
That's
my
what I said.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Or maybe we
None of it
died and
made
this
any
is
logical
hell.
sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh yeah.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
Yeah,
went?
that is kind of weird.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
are.
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
Which
he
is?
just hadn't found the words for it. I'm
And it is?
dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Okay.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an
Weird
explanation.
dream.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
I mean, if you fell asleep
He
at your
thought to
desk, you
himself,
probably still
I
will.
suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
What, walking in a
He
circle?
imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then
Okay.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, And it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
About a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Are we back in the
And
confusion
while he thought
ending?
it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Okay.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Okay.
So he closed his eyes gently.
Can we not?
He invited himself to wake up.
Can we not? I can't navigate like that.
The blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
I can't see anything.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
I've completely lost control.
This dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the
voice
buttons.
Is still
Please.
dedicating things, describing
I want my
them.
Apartment and my wife.
Do you have
and
one?
My job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Will it?
I am okay.
That's what crazy people say. Oh, here we are. Okay, this is where I ended up.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
We are having an absolute...
Went black.
Excuse me? Yet we are, having problems.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Pardon?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control.
That's what crazy people say.
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
That's a good way to get accused of murder, you dumb cunt. What the hell? She just left me for dead on the sidewalk. He may not be dead, I know what the narrator said, but that doesn't mean it's true. You could have tried to check for a pulse, asshole. Oh, God. And we're back to this cell. Okay, let's go looking for that awaiting input screen again.
Were gone.
I think this game... I'll come back to you. I think this ending requires resets to be able to find.
He entered the door on his left.
I'm trying to think of which one brings me past more computers. The other one didn't
This
really.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. To him, this question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, yeah, I'm just getting an ending. I don't want to fully
Stanley walked straight
reset the
ahead through
game.
the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I never tried to go down the escape route.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Would I? I'm actually kind of concerned.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Actually kind of
At
concerned
this
now.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I mean, not willingly, I'm hiding my eyes. Okay. Guess we're starting a different ending. Hey, so long as I have that, I don't myself restart the game and I have inputted that input, then hopefully we will make some progress.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped
No, I
forever
kinda
in his
do.
narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
I'm sorry, what?
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
No.
Stanley,
Thanks for that. Is this gonna hurt? That's probably stupid.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
No, he wasn't. Oh! No, he wasn't. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. What the hell is going on? I don't remember this, like, whatsoever. I was just looking to find an ending so I could continue my awaiting
When every
input.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
It's
Do
actually
you
making
see
me a
that
hint.
Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Fair enough. Office layout blueprint shows office from the beginning of the game. The path to Stanley's office is 2 doors. The first part was the game was built. This is like some I remember this now. This is like some genuine like developer credits and just talking about like different development parts of the game, which is actually kind of interesting. But this may genuinely give me reach 2 doors in good time. This does genuinely give me some idea about endings. It may help.
when Stanley came to the lift, he
Rear
traveled
outtakes.
upwards to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever.
These separate times over 2 years of development.
Stanley walked over the bridge.
Kevin Bryden, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. There are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game. Damn! This dude has some dedication because, like, I'm pretty sure he's still the narrator in the new stuff that was recently added. And I'm guessing it counts, like, the first time in the original, probably, fundraising version of the game. And then again for the final version, and now, Freedom Ending. And now for our version of the game. Trailers. We ran 4 major stuff just updated. Over the development of each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This, the first one released in May 2012, features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is repairing a new version of Stanley Parable. Damn, that's actually really clever. Because, like, people do love kind of puzzly themes that would make you have to think, because if you think about it, ooh, this may actually help. If you think about it, what the hell am I trying to say? Like, look at, oh, ARGs, stuff like that, like just puzzles, the Miranda Files, the Back Rooms by Kevin Pixel, like stuff like that has held people's attention for so freaking long that honestly, it makes sense that this kind of stuff would draw people in. Exit, so this is the way out. Once again, I don't...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Can stand here for a second, just in case I want to use this for, thumbnail. But, yeah, kind of. Also, once again, do not want to be the one that restarts.
Can you
Restarts
see?
the game.
Can you see how much they need one another?
Yeah?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Why am I...
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Meaning?
Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way to beat this game.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Yeah. Not gonna do that. I have a video to record. I love how she referenced specifically what I was using. Okay. I'm gonna look for more
All
waiting
of his
inputs.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
If I find no more waiting inputs by the time I get to that new content door. So it is on each individual restart. Gotcha. Oh, shit. I think I screwed up. Okay, well, let's just...
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
Apparently so.
New content.
We're about to find out. This wasn't the plan. Guess we're heading on to new content finally.
Hello,
This-
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Um,
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I'm getting Freddy
After
vibes.
receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay. Am I about
Please
to die?
step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I've already seen quite a
This
bit.
sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Are we now? Nice big
Okay, so far it's an
throbbing.
elevator. Nothing special yet,
Oh,
but I'm
bite
sure
me.
it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Bite me. Yeah, you want a big throbbing Ultra Deluxe.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've
I
never
see.
been more ready. Let's do it.
I see how this is gonna go. I still haven't discovered the baby game or anything else of that sort.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content,
Okay.
Stanley.
Working on it. The jump circle.
All right.
Oh.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I remember this. We can actually jump. Woohoo! I'm gonna get sued. Okay, well that's fun. I'm pretty sure I can find a secret Easter egg with that.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Surely that's not all the
Oh.
new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yeah, we got another elevator.
Another elevator.
Hey,
Stanley,
you've used plenty
I have
before.
To say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's
Hey,
just
some start out
elevators
slow.
and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
Hey,
this is
you know
new
what?
content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, some games, no. What I was about to say was, it's still nowhere near as bad as the final release of the Hello Neighbor. Have you seen that new version's coming out soon? Well, soon, December. What is this? Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's
Wait, what?
hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
Yeah,
what
could you-
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm
Could you,
infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Oh, it's
my
so
fault,
good.
Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. They could never have lived up to such expectations.
Oh, they saw
If you're
this
still with me,
coming.
why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Could you help?
No frills, no gimmicks.
Could you help
Just
me
you
out
and
with the
me
input
having
ending?
a great time together like always. What do you
Fair
say,
enough.
friend?
Sure. Oh my god. I mean, they're not wrong. Sometimes that happens, but there's also so many times that too much hype is built up to the point where it could still be a good game like Cyberpunk, but it not quite live up to the expectations. Oh, I love this. Narrator? That reset of yours didn't work. Narrator? That reset didn't work.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to
Okay.
show you something.
Why are we whispering? Is there animatronics? Am I gonna die? Like, am I actually gonna die? Please don't kill me. Ooh. I guess I completed enough of the old content to get the
Okay,
new
you
content.
remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our
Whoa.
little secret. Take a look.
Holy shit. Valhalla much?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Ooh,
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
is that normal? Considering the fact that it happens every single time I turn my camera... Now it's changed. Oh, it's... That's freaky. Okay, let's just ignore that. Probably intentional. What do you mean? Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory
Oh.
Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it
Reminds
was
me of
solid
how-
with a cheap Xbox port? Remember
Excuse
back in
me?
October of 2013 when the
Oh,
game
I do.
originally launched?
I do.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back
then,
it
I was
all
much
meant
shorter.
something.
And
Oh,
10.
the waste.
Oh my god. This is so cool. God, I do actually miss 2013. Honestly, I wish we could go back to some degree. God. I wish. Honestly, despite the fact that I wouldn't have grown up with quite the same video game genres and... Ow, damn it. Despite the fact that I wouldn't have grown up with quite the same access to video games and stuff back then, I wish I had gotten I was born earlier than when I was, so that I would have been able to start YouTube when it originally came out and start playthroughs and stuff, because honestly, with the way my personality is, that's what I would have gone to. God. Like, even before I found, like, Jacksepticeye and stuff, the idea of, like, playthrough channels and stuff was already in my head. Oh, this is so nice. What is that? What's this?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created."
God.
Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
Oh,
It's no
come
games
on.
at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
I
It's
like
just
it.
a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
This is amazing. And yeah, that was grand back when reviews actually meant jack shit about what the game was. Honestly, yeah, at this point nowadays, I don't give two squats what reviews say. I'm not gonna judge how a game is until I've actually played it myself, because reviewers just say what they think will be most hyped.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Back when
The
they used to
Stanley
mean
Parable
jack
is
shit.
both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need
Mostly.
anything else. It didn't need new content.
Fair
All
enough.
they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the Xbox. Boom, done. And they
Fair
couldn't
enough.
even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Though honestly, the Deads would have gotten a lot of shit if they actually did just port this original Stanley Parable over to Xbox. You know they would have gotten a ton of shit for that. Oh. Sir, I cannot get through here.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh,
I
no.
don't
Oh, God,
know.
no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these
don't
reviews
know.
were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not every review. Considering the fact that in my experience with games, like, you remember, I used to play games before I did YouTube videos, but the more and more I got absorbed into making my videos, the more and more I got absorbed into, like, the reviews, new games coming out, news about games, just all kinds of stuff. I've seen so much. I see reviews about games all the time. And I've never heard about these guys, so I have a feeling that might be for a reason. Are they, like, really cynical dickheads?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to
Ooh.
be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable,
I've
but the
inserted a
game is
few.
already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Up your ass? That would work. But at the very least, they're better than most reviewers nowadays. They actually play a decent amount of the game to actually have some amount of comprehension to whether or not they should say what they should say. Unlike reviewers nowadays who have a tendency to put in 5 minutes and complain. This is so strange. Was this a genuine thing, or am I being screwed with? Honestly, I can't tell when it comes to Stanley Parable. You never know when you're being screwed with.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Oh, this one?
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Yeah, a little
You
bit.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Aww,
Like I let these people down.
I've enjoyed
Perhaps
you.
the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
There is a hint of like, that is one thing I've always seen, and I've realized myself, there's always a hint of nostalgia that kind of blinds people to what may be true and not true about games, but it can be hard to distinguish even when you look at it from
What's this one
another
got to
person's
say?
perspective.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of
Fair
what's
enough.
happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
And we had to summon this? So, skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And it goes
Honestly, if I
something like
wanted him
this.
to shut up, I would
The
just
story
turn him
and
down in the
choices,
settings.
or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end
In his
of time,
attempt to
at which
be
time everything all at
annoying
once. So,
and
now you
irritating,
see,
he's
blah,
actually
blah,
being
blah,
more
blah, blah,
funny
blah, 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 blah.
than
You've eaten
anything
too
else.
much, and it can't be just yet. No, until 245.
Dude,
But
I
the
get
logic
hit in
of
the head for
elimination working
fun.
backwards, the
You think you
deduction
can
therefore
irritate me to
becomes
death?
impossible to manufacture. It went
Okay.
on for nearly 10...
You actually managed.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it... Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's
God.
the power
This
of the
is
button.
not gonna
The
end.
minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
I
That
can
last
tell.
one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Good God.
Stanley! Stanley!
At this point, I'm
please
having
don't push
fun.
the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley.
Oh.
You're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh,
Stanley,
Christ,
I
help
think it's
me.
been a week.
Help,
Or 2
help,
weeks.
help. I can't see shit. Narrator?
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one in...
Does this have an end? He's gone. What? There's a fire alarm going out. There's no fire though. God, that's annoying. Skip.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was
You're
meant
back.
to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said,
Hello? Waiting for Frey to pop out. Okay. Bye.
the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Is there an end?
Is never the end, 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 is never the
Okay, he's just repeating that. He's gone mad. He's lost it. Narrator? Oh, Christ. Narrator! Oh, there's not gonna be a building next jump. We can keep going. I genuinely wanted to sit through his ramp, but honestly, I wasn't getting anywhere. Okay. The narrator's just completely gone at this point. There's gotta be an end. What happens if this button gets broken in one of my jumps? Can I get back? Where did all this stuff go? Teleport me, teleport me, teleport me, teleport me. Teleport me, teleport me, teleport me! Further, jump, further, much further. Button? Oh. The entire room is tilted. What the hell happened to the planets? You gonna... No, you're busted. You are completely busted. What the hell happened? Well, the world ended. Lovely. I think I skipped past the bombs falling, so I survived. Mostly. Hello? Hello? Narrator? He's probably long dead. Someone? Anyone? There's gotta still be people. The atmosphere is still breathable. And we're back. I think we did a full reset.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. And I think that's where we're gonna end. What the hell just happened? For right now, I'm gonna end this episode of the Stanley Parable off here. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to see some of the new content, though, based off what I've seen, there is a lot of stuff I have yet to see. There's several things that I know about, like the baby game and just a bunch of different things that I know about that I've not seen. I think the red and blue doors I've not been back to yet. So I probably should try that. But there's also the input ending, stuff of that sort. So I'm gonna end this episode of the Stanley Parable off here. May actually just start re-recording for another one. Right now, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, think about leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Other than that, be good, be well, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.